Have you ever wondered if you're truly alone when you're walking down the street? Or how about when you're having a quiet chat in a park? Surveillance cameras, a common sight in today's world, challenge the very notion of public privacy. In our exploration of public surveillance cameras, we'll delve into the heart of a contentious topic that's been in the spotlight for years. Let's start with a real-life case study from San Francisco, a city that once had an extensive network of surveillance cameras. In 2008, the city's community safety camera program was put to the test by the University of California, Berkeley. The study found that the cameras did not deter violent crime. In fact, the crime rates remained largely unchanged. The only significant reduction was in property theft, and even then, it was a mere drop in the ocean. Next, let's travel across the Atlantic to London, a city known for its extensive CCTV network. In 2005, a comprehensive study by the Home Office revealed that CCTV systems had little effect on crime levels. In some areas, crime even increased. Our journey takes us next to the haunting example of the Chinese city of Urumqi. Nestled in the Xinjiang region, Urumqi was rapidly transformed into an Orwellian dystopia through the installation of an ironclad network of surveillance cameras. This sophisticated system wasn't merely a tool for public safety, as it was publicized. Instead, it served as an instrument of power, perpetuating an uncomfortable sense of living in a police state. The surveillance architecture in Urumqi was chillingly comprehensive. Cameras were omnipresent, dotting every street, every neighborhood, even religious sites. Facial recognition technology enabled the authorities to keep track of the city's inhabitants, their activities, and their movements. This was more than an invasion of the local Uyghur population's personal freedoms and privacy. It was an assault on their way of life. The local population bore the brunt of this high-tech surveillance. The Uyghurs, a largely Muslim minority, found themselves the primary targets of the intrusive surveillance. Their daily routines, their cultural practices, and even their expressions of faith were put under relentless scrutiny, leading to a pervasive climate of fear and mistrust. The Chinese government, on their part, vociferously defended their surveillance regime. They justified the heavy-handed approach as a necessary measure to maintain stability within the region and to counter what they claimed was the rising tide of extremism and separatism. They played down the concerns over intrusion of privacy and rights, and instead emphasized the role of surveillance in crime prevention and public safety. Thus, what unfolded in Urumqi is a cautionary tale about the potential misuse of surveillance technology and the erosion of trust and personal freedom. In our exploration of public surveillance, we've encountered a significant and pervasive issue: the erosion of personal freedoms. As we've seen in Urumqi, the impact of surveillance reaches far beyond the realm of crime prevention. It permeates daily life, influencing our actions, our interactions, and our sense of safety. Surveillance cameras, coupled with facial recognition technology, create a chilling effect on personal freedoms. The omnipresence of these tools can lead to self-censorship, as individuals may feel pressured to conform to societal norms out of fear of being watched. This is especially true for marginalized communities or minority groups who often bear the brunt of surveillance practices. But the implications of surveillance don't stop there. The potential for misuse is real and terrifying. As seen in Urumqi, surveillance tools can be weaponized to suppress certain groups, infringing on their cultural practices and expressions of faith. This misuse of technology creates a climate of fear and mistrust, undermining the very fabric of society. Yet, those advocating for public surveillance often have hidden objectives. They may argue that these systems are necessary for maintaining public safety and order. However, as our case studies have shown, these claims are often unsubstantiated. The effectiveness of surveillance in preventing crime is questionable, and the costs associated with it are high. So we must question, is the erosion of personal freedoms a price worth paying for a perceived sense of security? And who truly benefits from the surveillance state? As we delve deeper into these questions, we uncover the complex and troubling realities of public surveillance. One of the reasons public surveillance continues to thrive is due to the support it receives from a section of the public. This support often stems from a lack of understanding of criminal psychology and the real reasons behind crime. It's often the uninformed and naive who support surveillance, deceived by the powerful entities that truly benefit from it. For instance, a common argument is that if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. This simplistic line of thinking fails to consider the nuanced complexities of personal freedoms and the potential misuse of surveillance technology. It's essential to understand that the issue isn't about having something to hide, but about the right to privacy, the freedom to express oneself without fear of being watched or judged. In the next few minutes, we'll delve into how this deception works and why it's so effective. The support for surveillance is often based on deception and a lack of understanding, rather than a genuine belief in its effectiveness. It's crucial for us, as informed citizens, to question, to challenge, and to understand the true implications of a surveillance state. Let's imagine a world where surveillance is the norm, where every move is watched and recorded. It begins innocently enough with the installation of cameras for public safety. Over time, however, the surveillance measures increase under the guise of national security. Those in power have access to this surveillance data, and the potential for misuse of this information is immense. We're living in a world where our personal freedoms and privacy are eroded day by day. This gradual transition to a surveillance state is not a scene from a dystopian movie, but a reality that is slowly unfolding before our eyes. However, the transition to a surveillance state is not inevitable. We, as citizens, have the power to prevent this from happening. This can be achieved through public awareness, advocating for legislation that protects our rights, and the use of technology that respects and safeguards our privacy. In the end, it's about striking a balance between security and freedom. We must remember that while surveillance can provide a sense of security, it should not come at the cost of our fundamental rights and freedoms. As the saying goes, those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. So let's be vigilant, let's be informed, and let's protect our freedom. So what does all this inform us? The effectiveness of public surveillance cameras in deterring crime is indeed questionable. The presence of these cameras can potentially lead to a surveillance state and step over the boundaries of personal freedoms. The financial implications of implementing and maintaining these surveillance systems is frequently substantial. After all, the accurate measure of a society is not simply how secure it is, but also how liberated its citizens feel.